What's going on, guys? Coach Gamer Dude here for my first video. Actually, just kind of gonna go ahead and jump right in here. I'm gonna be playing Smite today, so we are on Assault. So it's gonna be random gods. I don't know if you've never played Assault, if this is your first time seeing Assault. It is one lane with a little side lane. No going back, so you can't respawn. You can't go back to your, you can respawn, but you can't go back to your fountain. You have to die in order to go actually all the way back. You start with 3,000 gold instead of the basic 1,500 or the 2,000, I think it is in Siege. You start at level 5, so that's another thing too. You're gonna be actually level of ult, so you can actually get your ult right in the beginning. So that's kind of cool. You can usually walk off with an item. So what I'm going to be doing with these videos is I'm going to be simply just explaining my personal best builds. I am level, I think 127. I think it's about 1,300 hours spent on it. So I've spent a lot of time on playing Smite itself. So I've had obviously bad games, really good games, played on the ranked level, played on casual levels. Obviously this is casual, you can't play Assault on a ranked level, but I played on all different levels. So I have, pretty good knowledge, and I come from about, trying to remember if it was season 5 or 4, somewhere in there, season 5 or 4, but it was probably back in about 2015, 2016 when I started playing. So it's been about 5 years that I've been playing the game. So I do know basically every single god except for the new ones that they keep entering in. When they keep entering in new gods, it kind of keeps getting harder to keep up with all of them, but I do have a very good knowledge of all the previous past gods that have been in the game for a very long time, so no problem there. Just with the newer gods that I might have a little more issue with which is in this game, the newest god that's in there is Baba Yaga, and even she's fairly old to the point where I'm pretty familiar with her. So, okay, now that we're finally in the game, first thing I'm going to build is I'm going to build Chronos Pendant. And the reason I'm going to build Chronos Pendant is because it gives you a decent amount of power. It is 100 power, which is pretty good. You're always going to start meditation, by the way. Always start meditation in Assault. And mana pots and health pots are very, very good for sustain because, like I said again, you can't go back. Like, you can go back in there, but it's not going to let you heal, and it's not going to let you build or anything like that. So you're definitely going to have to create some kind of sustain for yourself. May that be life steal or anything. But going back to what I was originally stating, the reason that I'm building Chronos Pendant to begin with is because Chronos Pendant is the highest cooldown item there is in the game. So cooldown is very, very essential, especially as a mage or a guardian or warrior. Pretty much essential as any thing. And I've already messed up here, but no ult. What I wanted to do was level up my circle, but I got distracted there. Level up your circle. The reason I say circle over X, square is great for minion clears, circle's great for poke, X is good for definitely an Assault being annoying. If you have your X leveled up, it goes off of your penetration, and it can cause a lot of damage. So that's pretty good to have on Assault, just for being very annoying and just kind of causing some poke. But the circle does more damage essentially than the X or the square does, and it's further range. So that's why I say do the circle. And then you're going to upgrade. And it can hit multiple people. See, if I had my ult there and I wasn't then and I'll be beeping out my cuss words. That's another thing about my videos, is that it's just better if I go ahead and beep them out, and honestly, I don't think it ruins exactly the whole thing. So, anything that's, you know, cussing or anything that I can't put in here, I'm going to definitely go ahead and get rid of it and beep out. So yeah, so I'm going to essentially use my circle to sit here and poke at them. I'm trying to be pretty much as annoying as possible, especially since going back, because I can never finish my original statement because I'm an idiot. Going back, the Chronos Pendant. Chronos Pendant is for the reason of the highest cooldown, like I said originally, with the 20% cooldown and the cooldown in the passive, with it being, you know, every 9 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever it is, it reduces your cooldowns again. So that's essentially very, very, very helpful, very, very useful. Like I said, very good power. Passive's very good. And then another thing that people don't think about, and why I still essentially bring this up because it is very important and very useful, is Chronos Pendant has a lot of mana per 5 seconds, or whatever you want to call it. So your mana regeneration will come back. And then again here, I'm going to use these health pods, stay back for a second, and regenerate some of that health. Being a mage, you want to stay in the bag. Try to stay behind your bulky people. Try to stay behind the tougher guys. Don't drift too far away from them because you don't. Now there's essentially, you want to be close to your guardian and your warrior when they are in game, because you want to have them go in. You do not want to engage unless you are some kind of like bulky mage like Zhongqi or Hades or something. But if you are not a bulky mage, I do not suggest ever being overly aggressive unless you're securing kills and you're just better than that. I mean, if you're overly aggressive, especially into a team fight, especially on Assault when there's 5 of them lined up like that, once you push too hard, that's essentially going to be what will probably get you killed. I mean, depending on what it is, obviously the situation and how you, if you can get escape, or if you can get out, or if you can, you know, fight your battle back, or whatever it is. Ultimately, charging into a 1v5 in an aggressive sense is just not a good idea, and playing patiently sometimes is the only way to play through it sometimes, even if that is very annoying, very time-consuming. It is still very, very good to just wait, and the more time that you spend in combat, you know, waiting it out and being patient, the more opportunities you'll get for that kill, the more opportunities you'll get to secure a kill or whatever. So, I mean, if I would have been aggressive and died there, maybe I wouldn't have been able to ult that guy and get that kill right there. So, it does work out, man. And then when we die, we will go into the that'll, we're in trouble. Turn it on. Square out. We need to get out. Get back to this right here. Regroup. Obviously, next we're going to go into boots. You need to always go into boots. That should be pretty obvious. If you haven't gotten that down yet, you need to go back and play the basic module. In the basic training.
What are you even doing?
I'm not going over there. There's still people pushing in and they're trying to attack our tower.
Why am I so good at the game?
That doesn't essentially matter.
Okay. Your middle tower is under attack. Oops.
So essentially I could have went over left and probably died, or I could have stayed in the tower and tried to defend and died. I guess either way didn't really matter. But I was hoping I could survive under the tower. Try not to let them push in. Sometimes being aggressive again, your team's pushing, and that was another, 5 of them were up. We don't want to push in a 3v1 or whatever, or 3v5, I mean, a 3v5 in that sense. That was not good. Okay, so secondly, we need to go into straight penetration. We need to build penetration items. I like cooldown a lot. I'm always going to stay on that cooldown path, on that power path, and then go on that penetration path here. Zeus, so I really want Sanctuary. Yeah, so you build the blue boots for 10% cooldown, the Chrono Spinner for 20%, and then the Spear of Desolation item that I'm building now for 10 more percent for maximum cooldown plus the passive on Chronos. This is going to be as much cooldown as you can possibly get right off the bat with great power and 10 penetration. So, and this is just our start here.
Can you just AFK under the tower?
They're only in the beginning. By the end of it, we'll be well over 700 and be looking really good on our abilities. They'll be doing a lot of damage, so not quite bad, but
Double kill? Why am I so good at the game? Retreat! On my way.
again, using that turret to be annoying as much as you can. Very essential.
On my
We're
way.
gonna need
Ultimate is ready.
our
Ultimate is ready.
Guardian and our
Ultimate is down. On my way.
Warrior. We have two Guardians actually, and I like that. So that's very helpful. A lot of moviness here. Again, sometimes this game is very, very about patience. About waiting for the opportunity to secure kills. About waiting for your chance to die.
Enemy has been slain.
Rise from the ashes.
An ally has been slain.
We're moving in really good, so getting those towers gonna get us lots of gold. Get us moving in on our build. So again, right here is not gonna be very about me. It's gonna be more about the carry, pushing in on the towers. I want to focus in on the Phoenix and try to focus in on people as little as possible. Again, you're trying to play objectively, not for kills. Unless you're trying to play for kills, then kill.
Retreat! Can you just AFK under the tower? Retreat! You have slain an enemy. What are you even doing?
He's gonna catch me because he has those pods. Damn him.
Double kill. Save yourself.
Okay, so yeah, Spear of Desolation again. 10 magical penetration, 10% cooldown, another reduced cooldown on the passive, another reduced cooldown on the passive there, 10% cooldown there, more good on power. So, next, what I am going to go into, and of course I'm just,
Enemy has been slain.
winging this as I go. Really what I like to go next
On my
is
way.
probably going to be Soul Reaver, and the reason is Soul Reaver over Doom Orb. Now we're going to go Doom Orb actually, and then we'll go Soul Reaver. Doom Orb, massive power, more movement speed, which is great for Vulcan because of that.
Carry me, team.
So, getting that movement speed, getting that mana for 5
Enemy
seconds,
has been
we're not
slain.
going to run out of mana. We're going to get faster than pretty much everybody so that we can escape and have a runaway. And I like to incorporate some kind of runaway, be it movement speed, you know, whatever it is. Getting defense is a really good idea sometimes. But having some kind of option to not die is always really good. So here we're gonna use movement speed basically as our escape route, which will be good if we even need it, because we might be done here. Yep, we're done. Well, that was a very quick first match. Guess I don't really get to show you much, but yeah, it definitely would have been. Oh, they should have attacked that Titan.
Can you just AFK under the tower?
Actually, might have got it. Yeah, going Doom Orb, and then I'm gonna go Soul Reaver, so at least you see that next item. The reason we're gonna go Soul Reaver is that passive right there. That passive is gonna come really majorly in effect at this point, especially against Amaterasu and any Vulcan version. Not to mention it has that other penetration. Oh no, they got rid of the penetration. Okay, that's fine. But not to mention it has a good amount of power, and it has the major increase on mana. So but we're definitely gonna do Doom Orb because that's 145 magical power and movement speed. So very, very helpful. They got rid of that 10% on Soul Reaver, which I think they just recently did, probably last update or the one right before that. Since they got rid of that, Soul Reaver might not be the best option. I don't know, the passive is still very, very good, and in some way is a penetration item, because the passive going off of the health does add 4 penetration to, like I said, it is going to bonus your damage, especially to people like Amaterasu and
An enemy has been slain. Carry me, team.
but yeah, already got that movement speed in play. That's just letting me catch up to everybody. So also in escaping, it lets you be aggressive too, so nobody can escape you. You can just catch up to everybody. So yep, this will be it. Again, you're gonna go for that Titan. You're not gonna go for the person unless you can hit both at the same time. Playing it objectively, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, I probably have to look more into the next items to build, but Soul Reaver is still, I mean, a good item with that passive, but definitely Doom Orb. I would go after that, get that power, get that movement speed. I mean, those first 4 items are very essential for a Vulcan build, so yeah, so I guess other than that, guys, if you liked the video, then, you know, hit that little up on the thumbs down at the bottom there, and if you guys have any comments or questions, you can leave them down at the bottom as well. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and we can look at the stats really quick before I do take off. It's not horrible. Could have done a lot more player damage. Definitely was distracted for my first video, but I'll get a lot better once I get better, and I can really show you guys what I got. So, but all right, peace.